Welcome. Okay, so what is the Career Pathways Grant? And I apologize that you see the side of my face. It's because I am looking at my other monitor where I have my notes. So the Career Pathways Grant is a grant from EEC to the community colleges. So each community college, there are 15 public community colleges in Massachusetts. Each one is awarded money from EEC, and then they take the money and create an amazing workforce development program that students and educators like you have access to. So we go through this process, you'll see that if you're interested in taking courses, you will be working directly with a community college. Each community college is independent in Massachusetts. We don't have a system where it's different campuses of the same college. They're actually 15 individual institutions. So they're all a little bit different and unique and support their community in the way that works for their community. So they have their own courses, their own course schedules, the method of the course, online, in person, is all decided by the college. They have their own registration and enrollment processes as well. So as we go through, you'll learn that that when it comes time to take a course, it's really important that you, as the educator, connect directly with the college. This is a really amazing opportunity for you to start college. And through this program, you get to ease into it. You get lots of help and support. And we'll go through what some of those things are. So here's the map. You can see kind of how the state is divided. Each community college has a section, a certain group of cities and towns that is in their coverage area. And we really encourage people to attend a college near you for lots of reasons that I will also get into. And if this map doesn't mean anything to you and you don't know which college would be for you, that's definitely something that I can help you figure out. Oops, sorry, that was a mistake. Okay, so tonight we have representatives from Bunker Hill Community College and Roxbury Community College and Mass Bay Community College. You've probably heard of these. Bunker Hill and Roxbury are pretty deep in the city. And Mass Bay serves more of Metro Boston area. And you'll hear from representatives from each of these colleges at the end. So now that you've heard of the Career Pathways Grant, let's talk a little bit about what the grant provides. So when you become a Career Pathways student, you have a whole grant staff at the college who will help you from start to finish getting through your education. So the grant staff will help you with your class selection. What class do you need? What sequence of classes do you need? Will help you with the paperwork for enrollment. They can help you understand what classes you might need toward EEC certification. So all of the classes that are required for EEC certification are offered at the community colleges. Plus, most of the colleges also offer a college level certificate, which would be a few more classes, but would really make you well prepared for your job. They also offer associate's degrees, and there is funding beyond Career Pathways to help you towards your ECE degree. For example, the scholarship, which is a whole other set of webinars that will be coming up a little bit later in the spring, but it's great if you're new to college to get started with Career Pathways because you can get support with the scholarship. The grant also covers things like textbooks, tutoring, mentoring, and the campuses, each campus has a variety of services as well: career counseling, access to a library. Many of the campuses have food pantries, counseling services, and lots of other type of supports that are open to you as a Career Pathways student. So it's a real wealth of opportunities for you. Okay, eligibility for career pathways. It's pretty easy to qualify for career pathways. If you're familiar, it doesn't require any federal paperwork. You see what's written on this slide, and that's it. So you have to have an active account in the Professional Qualifications Registry, or the PQR, which if you're working in the field, you have to have for licensing anyway. So a copy of your PQR certificate should be in your personnel file at your work, and you're identified on there by a number. So you will need that number. You must live and work in Massachusetts. You must be employed for at least 20 hours a week at an EEC license or funded program. So like I said, that could be group and school age childcare. It could be family childcare. It could be after school and out of school time. If you're not yet working, but you'd like to start working and you're invested in the field, you can still get started with career pathways as long as you agree and intend to find a job at an EEC licensed program within the next 6 months. So you don't have to already be working. And if you are a near or future graduate of a high school program, a Chapter 74 program, a CTE program, you're also eligible. You have to agree to some terms and conditions of participation, which include things like agreeing to complete the course, agreeing to complete the application to the college, agreeing to take on and use the supports that are there for you, remaining employed in your field while you take the classes, agreeing to remain in the field for at least 1 year after you finish your classes. And there's some very non-identified demographic data that's shared with the college and EEC for reporting, but it is not connected to your name. And then each college, as I mentioned, being an independent institution, may have some other requirements as well. Some colleges require you to have a high school diploma. Some require you to take a placement exam. You must have good financial and academic standing at all of the community colleges. Some require you to complete an application for the college, and some do not. So you might hear more from the grant coordinator once you get into the process. So how do you get started? The first thing that you're going to want to do is identify the college that you're interested in going to. And we really, really encourage you to choose the college that is close to you, because if you want to go to the library, you're going to want to be close to the college. If you want other resources, you're going to want to, on campus, you're going to want to be able to access the college. This is designed to be a college experience. It's not designed, or the beginning of a college experience, the start of a few classes. You don't have to commit to getting a whole certificate or degree. You can just take the classes that you need for EEC certification, but it is designed to be an experience that connects you with a college. We highly discourage folks from hopping around from one college to another college to another college, looking for the class that they need. And one of the reasons for this, I can tell you some stories, is that I've heard countless stories of people who take the same class more than once because it's called something different at a different college, and they don't realize that they've already taken it because they're just jumping around. I can tell you a story about an educator who had 60 credits from community colleges. That's enough for an associate's degree. But she couldn't get an associate's degree because they were from too many different colleges, and she couldn't transfer. Nobody would accept all of the classes for transfer. So there are a lot of reasons. You might think right now that you just want to take 1 or 2 classes, and you might love them and decide that you want to stay at the college and get a certificate or an associate's degree. And you're definitely going to want to be at the college where you started and have your credits from the same college to do that successfully. We're hoping that you'll make a connection with the staff and the instructors at the college, and that they will become resources for you for asking questions, for helping you understand the sequence of courses. Another thing that happens frequently is that if folks aren't connected to a college, they don't really know what class to take next or where to go, and frequently they end up in my inbox. And if that happens, I will send you back to the college where you have taken classes previously, and I'll support you in doing that and really encourage you to get connected with that college. So how you get started is simply choosing a college that you want to go to, or returning to a college that you've already been at. And there are also some colleges that offer classes in other languages. Right now, this group of community colleges across the state offer classes in Spanish and Portuguese. And you can see that information on our webpage, so you'll know which college offers a course in the language that you need. But obviously, if you need a language that's not offered at a college near you, that would be an exception to a time where you might need to enroll in a college a little further away so that you can get the language that you need. And if there are other language needs besides Spanish and Portuguese, I know there are some educators who speak Chinese on this call. I would like to connect with you later and help you find classes. Okay, then what? Now you've chosen your community college, what do you do next? So we're gonna give you a website to go to. It's right down on the bottom of this slide, and we'll send it out to you in follow-up. You'll go to our website, and you'll see the map that I showed you. And so you'll look at the map and figure out, hopefully, what's your closest community college, or you'll send me an email and I'll help you figure out what's your closest community college. And then on that same webpage is the contact information for the grant coordinator at that college. And we encourage you then to reach out with an email indicating that you're interested in taking career pathways classes, and that person will get you started. There will be several steps to take for course registration. You are registering for a course at a college. It's different than registering for a training, where you might just, fill out a form with some basic information. There will be some paperwork. You might need to show your transcript of other college classes you've taken, or your high school transcript, so you should have that ready and prepared. And most of this correspondence will be via email with your grant coordinator. So please remember to check your email frequently and be responding to the emails that you get, so that you can make sure you're staying on top of things that are required of you. Some important things to remember as you start on this. So as I mentioned, you may be asked for a copy of your high school diploma or your college transcript. We really, really strongly encourage you only to reach out to one college at a time and work with the grant coordinator at that college to start your pathway. It's really hard for the colleges and can end up wasting precious resources if you reach out to multiple colleges at the same time and they're all trying to get you enrolled in a class, and then someone gets back out to you and says, I got you in a class, and you say, oh, sorry, I've already gotten a class in somewhere else. It's a lot of wasted time and resources. We really encourage you to reach out to one college at a time. Again, we encourage you to return to the college where you've already taken classes. Obviously, this isn't going to work out all of the time, but we encourage you to start there. This is a really important idea as well that comes up a lot. The colleges all operate on a semester schedule, pretty typical semester schedule. So classes start in the beginning of September or mid-September, January, and May. Colleges, unfortunately, cannot offer classes on demand off of the times when semester starts. Like I said, it's very different than taking a training that can start at any time. And with this one, you really have to think ahead, because classes that start in September will start enrolling probably in May, April, May, depending on the college, it's a little different. So you sort of, I don't know if you're up with fashion, you know how the fashion comes out in the stores, like a whole season before you would wear those clothes. So likewise, registration for a class is going to happen a whole semester before you can take. There are some instances where you might reach out to a college in late December or early January, and there might be a spot for you. But more than not, these classes, because they're grant funded, fill up really quickly and they fill up really early. So you really want to be sort of thinking ahead. Directors, you want to be thinking ahead, looking when you hire someone, looking at what they have and what they might need to take, even if they're not ready to take a class yet. You might want to start talking to them about taking that class earlier than you want them to take that class, because it happens quite often that we hear from people the week before classes are starting and there just aren't any spots left. It's also really important before you enroll as an educator that you really understand the time commitment that's going to be required for your coursework. And I don't say this to scare anyone off, because there are lots of supports. As I mentioned, there are tutoring supports, mentoring supports, language supports. So it's very manageable. But it does require you to think about it, to look at the course description, to look at your calendar, seeing when due dates are, and make sure that you get the help that you need. As an educator, it is your responsibility to enroll and sign up in the course. And directors, if you have educators who want to take classes, we encourage you to talk to your educators about doing that and support them through this process that I just walked you through the process of getting enrolled in the course on their own. I know that in the past, there have been opportunities for programs to request like a class for 20 of their educators. We're moving away from that more and more, and really trying to encourage this to be an opportunity for the educator themselves to reach out and get the class. You as a director, we want you to help them know what class to take and know you have to do this process, but to really for the educator to take responsibility, for their experience. And that's actually the end of my presentation. So I am going to turn this over to my college partners now, and I'm going to start with Linda Romero from Mass Bay. She has a slide, and then Linda, when you're done, I'm going to take down the slide deck because I don't have slides from other folks, and then I'm going to turn it over after you, Linda, to Hundine and Melissa at Bunker Hill.
Sounds good.
You are up, Linda.
Okay, hopefully you'll be able to hear me okay. I've just got a message that my internet connection is unstable. So I don't know what's going to happen exactly, but Mass Bay has a number of different programs, just as most of the other community colleges do, all of us do. And my slide just says what all those different programs are. So I'll elaborate on them a little bit. The first part of my list is courses that do not require matriculation. Matriculation is when you have to apply to the college and sign up for a degree or a certificate program. And there are all kinds of orientations and placement tests. For this first list of items, you don't need to do that. You will fill out a Career Pathways application, which is an online application, which I make available to center directors usually, and anyone else who inquires about 2 months before classes start. So we have to do it way ahead because it takes a long time to sort through them all. We get a lot of applications. So a lot of the students come to take courses just towards certification initially, although many of them will decide to continue on. They may come to take child development, and that, of course, is what they need in order to become teacher qualified, that with some experience. And you can see the little blue star says we do offer child development in English, Portuguese, and Spanish. For lead teacher, we offer the whole range of courses that apply to lead teacher, but we only offer them in English and in Spanish. So far, we're not offering any more in Spanish except Portuguese. We're offering in English and Portuguese, we offer all of the lead teacher courses. In Spanish, it's just child development. You can also see that we have a couple of CDA programs. And one of them is in English, and some students come and start with child development, and they stay 2 semesters taking 3 courses. If they've already taken child development, we have a sort of a fast track CDA for people who can complete it by taking 2 courses in 1 semester. We have a CDA in Portuguese that's for family childcare providers specifically. It consists of 2 courses, one in the fall and one in the spring. The courses that we offer, the programs that we offer that require matriculation and application to the college where you choose a specific program are the ones listed at the bottom. Some of our students who come to us taking certification courses will continue with those certification courses and build up to the point where they have completed a certificate, which is 18 credits or 4 courses and a practicum, or 4 courses and a CDA. So we do have an infant toddler certificate program and what we call an early childhood certificate program that's for preschool. They're both 18 credits, 4 courses and a practicum. So you can get those courses through the Career Pathways program, but we also encourage students and support students in applying for the ECE scholarship, or some students nowadays are looking for the Mass Reconnect program, which allows people to take community college courses for free. We do, of course, have associate degrees, which are the traditional programs of community colleges. And we certainly hope that many of our students who enter Career Pathways will eventually decide that that's a goal they would like to achieve. And there is other financial aid to support them going forward, because the Career Pathways funding we use for the core early childhood courses, and then people get other financial aid to continue. We do have, as all of the programs do, an advisor that's dedicated to the Career Pathways students, who helps them fill out a professional development form, helps them choose their courses. And of course, as the grant coordinator, I also do a lot of advising for students. So you certainly can contact me. I am the name and email address that's on the EEC webpage. I guess that's about it.
Thank you so much, Linda. It's really, I hope it's great for people to put faces and names together. So I'm going to stop sharing. If Handine or Melissa, if you have a slide to share, feel free. Otherwise, we don't need it. And then after you go, Handine and Melissa, we'll turn it over to Michelle from Roxbury Community College.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Handine Jean Marie, and I'm the Assistant Dean of Professional Studies. I'll give Melissa a chance to introduce herself.
Oh, right now. Okay. I'm Melissa Kerner. I am the academic counselor for Career Pathways. So I pretty much help the students with the whole registration process, but I think Handine's gonna start first, and then I'll jump in.
Okay, so first I wanted to talk about our Career Pathways program overall. Similarly to Mass Bay, we offer certification for teacher, lead teacher, director 1, director 2 through Career Pathways. And so with our child growth and development course, which would allow educators to get their initial teacher certification, we do offer that course in English and in Spanish. That is our only class that we offer in a different language. If students want to continue on and earn their lead teacher certification, we do offer 2 tracks. One of them, which is the CDA track, it's a more accelerated track through Career Pathways. That's a sequence of 4 courses. Then we also offer, obviously, our associate's degree, which is much longer. It's about 60 credits. But the nice thing is that if you do start off with the CDA, you can sort of continue on and finish your associate's degree. So you're not so those classes do count towards the associate's degree, which is nice. So when it comes to our offerings for our classes, one of the things that's unique to Bunker Hill is that we do offer an accelerated completion for the CDA. or at least for the lead teacher. And what's unique about that is that we can offer courses within one semester to be 7 weeks long. So that is a little bit challenging. And we do have conversations with students to tell you that we're taking a 15-week course and cramming everything into 7 weeks. So it's you have to really be attentive. You can't really miss any sessions because you could be missing pretty much equivalent to 3 courses if you miss a class. So it's a unique way for us to allow students to finish their CDA within 2 semesters. So you will be guided with your advisor to register for the next sequence of courses until you complete the program. The other unique opportunity we offer at Bunker Hill is that if you do decide to start with child growth and development in Spanish, we offer an ELL slash the next sequence of course integrated course that we develop so that if the student wants to continue, they will also get the next sequence of course, but also some ELL curriculum as well to sort of continue and be able to complete your CDA in English. So we don't offer the entire CDA in another language at Bunker Hill. And so one of the other things that we suggest for students, specifically at Bunker Hill, is that we encourage you to take the child growth and development course in person. It's a foundational course. You're learning a lot of content. You're doing a lot of writing. And for those of you who haven't been in school for a while, it's probably the best option to meet in person. What's unique about it is that we offer these courses out in the community. So Bunker Hill services the Boston area. We also have a campus in Chelsea. And so we've partnered with some of the different locations in those areas, specifically East Boston Social Center and also Project Hope in Boston. Those 2 locations afford us the opportunity to provide childcare for you while you're taking the courses. And so you're able to bring your child, they're supervised in a separate area while you take your courses. These in-person sessions also, because they are longer and they're accelerated, they run from 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 in the afternoon. So we make sure that we provide breakfast and lunch also for the educators when they come. So we try our best to eliminate any barriers as far as transportation. We try to make it out in your community. Childcare, we make sure we have childcare available for you so that you can continue your education and finish also in an accelerated time. So I think that's it for me. If you want to talk about our registration process, Melissa, for students that are interested.
Okay, so for the registration process, it's pretty much going to be through me from the beginning to the end. I'm the academic counselor, so I talk to all the educators, the directors that want me to speak to their educators, to you all. First, whether you're contacting me directly or Hundine or our Career Pathways email, I will talk to you, the student, educator, and send you our intake form. And our intake form will show me if you're eligible for the Career Pathways funding through a few criteria that Sarah mentioned earlier. And we just want to make sure that you're in the field, you're going to be in the field, that you live and work in Massachusetts. From there, we talk if you're already a Bunker Hill student, then, I have your ID, or if we have to reactivate your ID, that's one of the situations. If you're not already a Bunker Hill student, then that's when you'll apply to Bunker Hill. And I know that Sarah mentioned, and I think somebody else mentioned, either a non-matriculated student or matriculated student. Usually we have our students sign up through like a guest student registration. That means you're just taking either one-off courses, you're just in for the CDA. So once you receive the ID, then we will have you complete an English survey. We have an assessment. It's just a survey just to see if you meet the prerequisite for our classes. If you have already taken a college level English course in a different institution, we'll ask for your transcripts. And I know it might be you're doing it twice where you're applying to Bunker Hill and sending them your transcripts. We will also need those transcripts because we don't speak to that system. So when you send me your transcript, I can, approve if you've completed a college level English course for the class that you want to take. And then we'll just go through, a conversation of what class you're interested in, whether that can be a phone call, if you wanted to meet in person, if you wanted to do a Zoom call. A lot of students just love the email quick, like this is the class I want, because a lot of educators know what they want to take and what certification they're going towards. But if you're new to the field and you want to have a conversation, we can talk about classes we're offering. So like Handine mentioned, we have our grant classes, which are usually on Saturdays, and they're the full day. You get food, there's childcare, but then we also have grant seats in our non-grant courses. So if you're interested in taking, like a 217 or what other classes for your specific, if you're going towards your associates or if you're just trying to take, classes here and there, we can see if we have a grant seat open for you, and then we'll put you in that class. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. For textbooks, we also purchase your textbooks. So that's just a conversation between me and you, and I'll either send you your book or you can come pick it up. But everything is pretty taken care of, which is great, and it makes things easier for you all who are taking the class. So did I miss anything, Handine?
I think you got it all. We also, the only thing I would add as far as services is that we do also have mentors that are actually in the classroom with you. So while the class is going on, they'll sit in there if you have any questions or didn't understand a term that the professor mentioned, they're able to support you right then and there in the classroom. Again, those are mostly offered for our fully grant sections in person. But of course, we offer all modalities. If the accelerated format kind of scares you a little bit, we still offer the full semester sections in the web format, in the remote format. So there's plenty opportunity. So we hope you guys consider Bunker Hill. Again, it's me that's on the website listed. And so as long as you email me or complete our inquiry form, we will be able to make sure you get to the right area. And the reason why we have the inquiry form is because we have other ECE grants that we want to make sure that we send you to the right program. So that's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, I can ask
Thanks, Handine and Melissa. That's great. And Michelle from Roxbury, we'd love to have you up next. Do you have anybody else here? If so, please introduce them, but take it away.
It's just me tonight. Hello, everyone. My name is Michelle Howard Harrell, and I am the program coordinator for early childhood education here at Roxbury Community College. We're conveniently located at the Roxbury Crossing T-stop, and we're on the Orange Line, so we're right across the street. So easy access if you're taking courses in person. We offer in-person courses. We also offer online courses and hybrid courses. Our hybrid courses are pretty flexible. Some students are able to come, but not all the time. They're able to come in the evening, but not every Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday evening. So we do have a hybrid option. We also offer some non-required Zoom sessions. So they're just sort of check-ins, but also we go over some of the information that's in the totally online courses. So you do have an opportunity to interact with other educators, but also with the professor teaching the class. If you can't take if you don't feel comfortable taking a fully online course, this is a good way to take one because you still have some contact with others. We offer pretty much a lot of the services that our other community colleges offer. Particularly, we have a project access, which helps you with anything you need that's non-academic. So if there are food issues, housing issues, wellness issues, etc., we do have a center that works with that. We just opened recently a wellness center, And we do have a full-time wellness counselor who is there. We also have a food pantry, Roxbox, and we have some pick up and go dinners that you can get it is free to students. So we do have some things that you need, don't always know you need, don't always want to say you need. We do have access to those. As Sarah said, our classes basically begin in September, January, and May. We do have what we call late access courses. So 2 weeks after the regular session begins, say in September, we have another session that begins then. Very often students, sometimes educators can't quite make up their minds, or they don't know what their work schedule is. So we do offer some courses in fall access and spring access. We do have an advisor who is assigned to us, but we meet every semester with all of our advisors. So if you happen to come in or if you happen to call, whatever academic advisor you get will be able to help you with what you need. We have free first aid courses, uh, 2 sessions online, and then of course the in-person session on a Saturday. And we've run 3 sessions so far since September, and they seem to be well received. So we do offer that. Let me see what else I need to tell you. We offer we offer courses for teacher, lead teacher, director 1, director 2. We do have groups of educators who like to come together, you know, to take their courses, and sometimes we can accommodate those if we know before we hit the last access, we can accommodate a small group. So please keep that in mind if you have educators who want to come with a buddy, that we certainly can accommodate that. I think that's it. Feel free to call us. I'm not the coordinator, but Jennifer is a fountain of information. So we welcome you. We are close. Oh, sorry, I'm reading the chat. Welcome you to give us a call, to hop off the orange line and come over and see us. And we welcome you.
Thanks, Michelle. Thank you to all of our college representatives here talking about their program. You can see you can get the classes that you need at any of these colleges, and they're all awesome classes. And you can see how each program's a little bit different, trying to meet your needs, and also probably based on where you live and what is of easiest access to you. And we now have time for questions and answers. I'm going to try to answer questions in the chat. That question, Donna, are any all online courses accelerated? Would be specific to each college. So if the colleges could just chime in if you have any online accelerated classes.
Bunker Hill does not offer at least fully online. We do have some remote sections that we offer in that accelerated mini session format that runs for just 7 weeks. But as far as fully online courses, we do not offer them in that accelerated format.
Mass Bay does in the summer. We have some of our career pathways grant courses that are 6 weeks online. Not very many, but a few.
And we have some 8-week sessions, but not every course is offered then. Not our foundation courses are not offered during that short period of time. They kind of deem hit it right on the nose. There's a lot of work, a lot of information, and particularly if you have, oops, what did I do? Particularly if you have educators who are new to college, we highly don't recommend that. We don't offer the ones you need right away, just so to help you acclimate yourself to college and what college is about and what work is about.
I'm actually looking for a non-accelerated course. So
Oh.
for one of my educators. And
We have
so-
lots of those.
Okay. And again, she wants it online. So she's like, make sure it's not accelerated. So I might sort of reach out to all of you just to sort of tell you what I'm looking for. And maybe that might be a little bit more helpful as to try to go through everyone's pieces of your coursework. So I'll probably do that. But would that be easier, Sarah, or what would be the easiest for me to do to try to find that?
To get information on that level of specificity about courses, you would have to reach out to the college directly. I don't have that level of specificity. I just encourage you that sort of after you get that information to just have that educator move forward with just one of the colleges, but certainly
Okay.
you're going to want, it's reasonable to want that information to make the decision about which program would be best for her. I would also encourage you to have her participate in doing that research because she may have thoughts about what school she wants to go to, and certainly when it comes time for her to register, she's going to need to do that herself. And so it's great to have you to guide her through the process, and then she'll be in good hands when she moves forward with a college.
I have no doubt. Thank you.
Sure.
Sorry, I just wanted to make a comment based off of what Donna, I'm assuming, Donna, you're a director and you have employees that you would like to recommend for these opportunities. We
Yes.
love that. One of the things that we try to do is if we find out that you have several employees, we do encourage the educator to fill out a FERPA form so that we can communicate with you on how they're doing with their registration, because sometimes things get lost in the shuffle and you're not sure if the student did what they needed to do. So sometimes we like to bunch them together and communicate through the director to ensure that the students enroll in the courses. So we welcome it.
Thank you.
That's a great point, Hundine. And that's another reason why educators have to do this work themselves, is that there's a lot of confidentiality laws around students and their work. And so the colleges can't share anything with you as a director unless, as Hundine said, they sign what's called a FERPA form, which gives the college permission to share some of their information. So that's another reason why they really have to do the process themselves. They can't have a director fill out the form for them. They just won't get very far. It has to be the educator themselves. So thanks for that.
I didn't know that piece of information, so thank you.
Sure, of course. Shannon in the chat asks, which college would be services for the town of Woburn? Is that you, Linda? Who's
Would it be us, Bunker Hill, maybe?
You're stumping us. I was just talking to all the grant coordinators about this today. If you put your email in the chat, Shannon, I will happily get back to you with that information. Unless anybody else on this call knows. There is a question about the supports for educators that learn differently and might need extra support in terms of a learning disability. So maybe each of the colleges could just share a little bit about how they support educators with those needs.
We do have an accessibility office at Roxbury that offers counseling and tutors, and we do have some dedicated tutors for students who have different needs.
Yeah, Mass Bay also has an accessibility resources program that, even though a lot of our grant students are not matriculated students, they still can access those services. They do need to provide information to accessibility resources, but a lot of services are available online now. So students can get support that way if they aren't able to come to campus. And we're working to have those resources more available in the evening than they currently are.
And Bunker Hill also has a disabilities office available for students as a resource. Again, I'm going to emphasize that the student does need to sort of disclose that information and provide that documentation. And trust me, we've been turned away several times from the disabilities office when we try to advocate for the student. They're like, nope, the student needs to come and tell us that they need these services. So we just want to lead with that and make sure, encourage students to advocate for themselves what are the services that they're looking for and maybe some of the challenges that they have. If they have an IEP from high school, they could provide some of those documentations to get similar supports. So we just want to always encourage the students to advocate for themselves.
Sorry, just for clarification purposes, the IEP or a 504C is needed in all 3 colleges to be able to access those supports?
It's not necessarily needed, but if they have it, great. If they also just have light services that they need, then they'll make it accommodation for that student as well. So it's not necessary to have those documents.
Can I have a question for Handine, please? I am unable to write because right now I have a toddler in my arms. I'm so sorry.
Yes, can you just speak up a little bit though, because this is hard to hear you.
Yes. So my question to Handine is that for the 7 weeks classes, are they held on the weekends?
Yeah. Yes. Her question was, are the 7-week courses held on the weekends? Yes. So we do offer, the 7-week courses are only offered on Saturdays. They run from 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. for 7 weeks. So you'll start off with child growth in September, be done mid-October, and then go right to the next one, starting in November to December. So every Saturday, and we keep it consistent so that you can sort of make your schedule. You don't have to change your schedule every semester.
You guys also offer the childcare during the classes?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
And just want to make sure that I understood right. You also offer the childcare during the classes?
Childcare.
Yes. So
Thank you.
during we have 2 locations, one location in East Boston, and one location in Dorchester in Project Hope. Those 2 locations offer childcare. Currently, our Chelsea location does not. Our Chelsea campus does not offer childcare, but we're working on that. But yes, those 2 locations do offer childcare for the entire class.
I want to address a couple
Yep.
of questions in the chat. Catalina, you asked on the page they share, is the form to apply for the grant, or should we go directly to the college of our choice? And when is the grant available? So, and that also, I think my answer will also help Cass, who asks, when do the next round of applications come out? Do we reach out to the college directly ahead of time, or do we need to find the application on the website? So the first step that you take in any scenario is to reach out to the contact person at the college. They will send you a form if they have it. Some colleges do it that way, some colleges do it differently. So you need to get in touch with the college that you want to go to, and if there's a form you need to fill out, they'll send it to you. And it's how do I say this? The next round of classes will start in the summer. And so maybe each college, you could just mention sort of approximately when your summer session runs and when you start accepting applications for those summer sessions. I encourage people to reach out soon to any college they want to go to, even if you want to start in September, because you'll find out when registration will open for September and you'll be on top of it. Don't wait expecting, there's not like an application time period. There are registration time periods for the college, and you'll want to make sure you know those ahead of time so that you can plan. So Eugenia has put the link to our Career Pathways webpage in the chat. And if you click on that, you can see up underneath the map, the contact information for Linda's contact information is there, Hundine's contact information is there. And for Roxbury, Michelle's colleague, Jen Kearns-Fox is listed. And you would reach out to one of these 3 people and say, I'm interested in Career Pathways classes. What's my next step? But if each of you could just, we'll go Linda, Hundine, Michelle, if each of you could just mention your dates for summer, that would be great.
Sure. Our summer classes are, I don't remember the exact date to tell you the truth, but it's just after the middle of May. But the application for summer classes, Career Pathways grant classes at Mass Bay comes out in March, probably like the end of the first week in March. And we really have a 2-week period where there's a mad rush of people applying. And so I send out information about courses along with the link to an online application to anyone who asks to be put on my distribution list. They'll just receive an email from me that will give them that information about courses, the link, it'll have all the dates and everything. And they fill out that application. And then within 2 weeks, we do acceptances for everybody we have room for in the classes. And people should know that there is a possibility that you'll apply and you won't get into a class because we have a lot of applications, sometimes as many as double as the number of grant funded seats that we have. So it's important to get in touch early and look for the email that comes out in my case, or whatever process other folks use. You really need to do it as soon as that application is available.
So Linda, you have a distribution list. If people email you and ask to get on it, will they get information every semester? Like, do you keep your distribution list or is it just semester by semester?
I do it semester by semester for people who are new and who are inquiring for the first time. If they're then take a class, they automatically will continue to receive the information. But my distribution list initially is based on center directors for all of the programs within our region, because we do concentrate on our region. So although I will send out the information to anybody who inquires, it doesn't mean they're permanently on our distribution list if they have not become a Career Pathways student.
So if you're interested in Mass Bay for the summer, and you are in the like sort of outside of Boston, Metro Boston area, I would encourage you to email Linda and she'll put you on your distribution list. Then you will get an email from her when she's going to start accepting applications for the summer.
Yes, and I do recommend to people who are getting involved in this process to not just check their email, but check their spam folder, because if you get an email from a distribution list, it could easily end up in your spam and you might never see it. So during the critical period for when you're expecting to hear about that, it's a good idea to check your spam.
Hundine, what are your summer dates?
So summer registration should be opening, I believe, March 25th. So that's typically around the time they start opening up for students to register. Obviously, you all can reach out before then and through our career pathways or through me, sending me that email, and we can get you on a wait list for when we do open sessions. And it's probably ideal because you can get through the entire process that Melissa was talking about and be ready to register when registration opens. As far as our summer courses, it begins around June 3rd is when summer classes start. And so our mini session that I was talking about would run from like June 3rd to July 14th, around there. So that's the summer schedule for us.
Thank you. Michelle?
So our early registration is, I don't have exact dates, our early registration begins around the beginning of April. And the summer session starts either May 20th or May 27th. I'm going to say it's probably May 20th, since the 27th is Memorial Day, right? So I would say somewhere right around there. We send out email blasts to all of the centers that are in our catchment area. So this information you should get, and Linda's right, you should check your spam. But we send out as soon as we are right before early registration starts, we start sending out email blasts listing the courses that we teach for the summer or any semester, but listing the courses, dates, times, etc., so that you can plan.
So I want to acknowledge that it's 8:04, and we need to let our wonderful interpreters go. And any others of you that need to go, I can stay on the line. I can stay on the call for a few more minutes if people have questions that I could answer. I'm happy to stay and answer those questions. College reps, you're welcome to stay, but it's been a long day for you all too, so you're also welcome to sign off. Thank you all so much. And Eugenia, you're going to say something.
I just want to quickly say too, we will be sharing the important links. So if you lost this in the chat, so you'll know how to get in contact with the different college representatives, as well as this recording in case you want to share it with a colleague or listen back on anything after as well. So just want to make sure folks know that.
So I will stay here. Feel free to drop off. We're gonna let the interpretation go. So I'm actually going to turn that off and bring everybody back. Thank you, Fox Translation Interpretation Services. You've been amazing. I'm going to bring everybody back to our main room. All right, we're together. Sorry. I want to make sure that you all can sign off. You've been great. If an individual does not receive grant-funded support on the first time, will they receive priority placement during the next round? That sometimes depends on how the college does it. I would encourage you to talk to the grant coordinator at the college that you reach out to about if you don't get a class, what would be the process for getting into a class the next semester. We at EEC are aware that capacity is growing quickly, that demand is growing quickly, and that we need to figure out how to get capacity to keep up with demand. So we are really interested in, we will be communicating with the colleges to understand how many people they are interested and they can't get seats for, and trying to work on that moving forward. So we're aware of that. We have a finite amount of money. We do the best that we can, but we want to, it's good information for us, and we try to do the best we can to meet everybody's needs. And if you're, I'm here to answer questions. I'm very responsive in email if you need anything from me or somehow, really struggling to get what you need. I can't make any promises I can help you get it, but I will try. Any other last questions? Please share this information with your colleagues, and just, I think an important thing to remember is that each educator needs to kind of take this journey on themselves, and directors can be super supportive and give them guidance. And that's why we want you here learning this too, so you can help your educators know what their steps are, but really encouraging them to, they're going to become scholars. They're going to need to do this themselves. And the other thing I really want to impress upon people is the timeline, the classes that people don't often understand when registration starts for the next class. And so I think that's just a really important thing to keep in mind in terms of thinking ahead. And so the more you can share that with people as well is really helpful. All right. Thank you all. Have a great night. And,
yes. Thank you. We know we have a long day, so we really appreciate your time, and we hope that you'll be calling us and letting us know that you've enrolled and you're getting an associate's or up to a bachelor's or further in your education. So thank you for being lifelong learners and helping others learn.
Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Good night.